there's so many distractions in our current society, and we all know this. Some are conscious to it and others aren't. But if you're really serious about changing your life and experiencing things that you've been thinking about in your mind, the only component that is missing is this new level of focus that you've yet to tap into. You know what I'm saying? So over this next 6 month period, I challenge you to really tune out everything. You see what I'm saying? Tune out everything. Focus on what it is that you truly want and curate a plan that will help you attain these goals as fast as possible, right? But in order to do that, again, there's this perception that you just have to do more and more and more. That is the furthest thing from the truth, okay? If you want to be more productive, do less, y'all. Do less. You need to cut out all of the distractions, okay? And when I say all the distractions, I mean all of them. You know, when you're working, when you're putting in work on your laptop, when you're, putting these new plans together, when you're, really putting them in place, you need to tune everything out. You have to have the ability to, be okay with the fact that you won't always have communication accessible at all times. You don't need to have communication available like all the time, like my new thing recently is like when I work, I turn my phone off. Well, I don't turn it off completely. I put it in airplane mode, right? Turn off like data and Wi-Fi and whatnot, and I lock in. But you have to be strict with yourself like this in order to move efficiently and effectively, right? Because that's what a lot of people don't understand, okay? Is when you have all these little tasks, because I'm just going back to what I was saying about cutting out all these different things and changing your perception of, productivity in general, okay? When I say do less to be more productive, that means cutting out all these little tiny things, man. Because when you're working and you get a little notification and you think to yourself like, okay, it'll take 30 seconds or it'll just take 1 minute, right? No, it doesn't just take 30 seconds or 1 minute. First of all, yes, that one little task might take just an insignificant amount of time, but the more that you do that, the more it accumulates. And what you don't even realize is that you're taking yourself out of flow state, okay? Flow state is when you're just in a really deep, deep focus and creative ideas are coming to you naturally. You don't really have to think that much. Your brain is being challenged, like not too much, but enough to keep you very engaged and interested, right? So every time you pick up your phone, you respond to messages, or, you mindlessly scroll on social media for like a couple minutes or whatever, you think that's insignificant amount of time that you're like putting into those things. But what you don't even realize is that you're taking that rhythm, that flow of focus for granted, because it takes a good like 20, 30 minutes just to get back into that flow. So every time you do these little things, you're depriving yourself of that efficient flow state where you're just boom, 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 like you're just moving like so effortlessly, right? So I challenge you, man, for the next 6 months, do something you've never done before. Incorporate a new level of discipline that you haven't before, and watch as everything starts to shift, because you've proven to yourself that you've attained a new level of focus, right? That's what a lot of people struggle with nowadays, man. It's not capability. It's not capability. It's just focus and belief at that. A lot of people can't stay focused because they don't believe that their current actions will actually amount to anything, right? Whereas it's so funny to me. Like, you see what a lot of these people go through on like reality TV shows and whatnot. Like, they put themselves through so much, bro, for like a chance at winning a cash prize, right? Because those people believe that they, if they make it to the end, they will get compensated. So why can't you incorporate and demonstrate this new level of belief within yourself that if you remain focused for the next 6 months, right? You do what you have to do. You put in the work on yourself as well as whatever projects you have going on. Believe that there is something at the end waiting for you, right? And that will allow you to tap into a whole new level of focus. Like, we're all going to have different goals and objectives, but I know for myself, that's always what it was, because I now on like the deepest level realize, like more than ever before, our brains don't know the difference between a thought and reality, right? If you think about something right now, like if, let's say you're working on a project on your laptop and you think about laundry, or you think about the dishes, like dirty dishes in the kitchen, or you think about the errands that you got to go get an oil change, whatever it is, the mind thinks that it has to do it right now because it doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know the difference between what it's thinking, like what it's imagining, and the present moment. The only thing it knows is the present moment. There's no future, no past, right? So use that to your advantage, man. That's your fuel. That's your superpower. That is our gift, right? But in order to like leverage the gift that we've been given to its fullest capacity, we must understand what this gift is, right? And that's why I'm really trying to express to y'all, like, it just comes down to focus and being able to lock in, you know? So yes, that will mean making a lot of sacrifices. That will mean cutting off some people that are holding you back for the time being. That will mean, you know, you might go ghost on social media for however long. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though like a social media detox in the beginning of this journey could be very beneficial. It's what I did, and it just allowed me to, you know, create these new habits a lot more seamlessly. It takes 21 days, y'all, to create an unconscious habit, and that's what a habit is, right? A habit is something that we practice without having to use so much of our conscious energy to remind ourselves that we have to do whatever it is, you know, like brushing your teeth, right? Or doing your dishes or doing your laundry or whatever it is, right? So it takes 21 days to create a new habit. You feel me? And if you really tap in, you can make it a lot more seamless than it has to be, right? But it starts with discipline, and it starts with intention and your decision. Like, are you going to commit, you know? You know, a lot of people tend to, you know, encourage people, you know, to delete their social media apps when they go on these like detoxes or these cleanses. And I mean, like, you know, I'm all for it if it's what you feel like you need to do. But me personally, I feel like it really challenges me to tap into a whole new level of like discipline and willpower when I leave my social media apps on my phone and I see them like looking at me, but I have the present moment awareness to not click on the apps, you know? So then when I am back on social media, like I can do it in a lot more of a healthy way, a lot more of a conscious way, right? Where I'm not going on social media unconsciously. Like if I got to go, you know, promote some stuff, or, you know, I want to post some stuff from the trip or respond to a couple messages, yo, I'll do that, you know? But I do feel like it takes a lot more willpower and awareness to be able to have the apps on your phone and to stay on a cleanse. A lot of people can't do that though. A lot of people just aren't capable, you know, because again, going back to what I was just talking about before, habits, right? 21 days to create a habit. Most people have created a habit of going on social media. So, you know, like just, it's so funny. Like Joe Dispenza has talked about this a lot, but when you get so accustomed to something, your mind and your body begins to expect it. So at 12 o'clock after you've had your lunch, you have a little bit of time left to, you know, before you get back to work or whatever, your body is and your mind is essentially craving this social media and you know, scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is. And if you don't start scrolling, that's when you begin to start feeling like a bit uncomfortable, right? So that's what it's about, man, is reversing the habit, you know, and everyone's capable, you know? That's all that it really takes, man. It's proving to yourself that the willpower, the desire exists within you, but more than anything that I've talked about in this video, it begins with our beliefs, right? Our thoughts create our beliefs dictate our actions, and then that's what we experience, right? So if you don't believe that there is something at the end, that there is something that you're working towards that is worth making sacrifices for, you're not going to be consistent. So you need to reassess your beliefs and determine whether or not they're in line with, your objective, your goal, and whether or not you believe that you as an individual are worthy and capable of experiencing these things that you've been envisioning in your mind. Because it doesn't matter how much you envision it. If you don't believe that it's a possibility, if you don't believe that you can achieve these goals, you won't, No matter how hard you work, no matter how much you care, it does not matter. So for these next 6 months, your plan of action should be becoming very clear with your desire, whatever it is that you want out of your life, right? The things that you want to achieve, the places that you want to go, the type of money that you want to have, and not just the amount of money, but the things that you want to do with the money, because it's not money that we want, it's the things that money can do for us, right? So get very clear on what it is that you want and construct a plan that is in line with your objectives, right? And then just be relentless in not only doing the external work, like I say, lock in for 6 months. That doesn't mean just stay on your laptop 12 hours a day and that's it, Like you got to put in the work, of course, man. Inspired action is what makes things move, right? But it's not the only component. It's not the only thing that you should be focusing on, right? Especially in the beginning stages, more than anything else, particularly in business. The beginning stages is more of a self-development journey than it is about the business. It's more about you than it is about the business, is a better way to phrase it. You know what I'm saying? So get very, insanely clear, very clear on what it is that you want. You need to create a vision board that you're going to look at in the morning, okay? As soon as you wake up and right before you go to sleep, okay? And that's key, guys. You need to sleep within the energy of the thing that you want, feeling as though you've already accomplished it, okay? And do this day after day while taking inspired action all throughout the day, okay? And then doing affirmations. You need to, man, there's so many videos on YouTube, bro, of, audio affirmations that you can listen to, super positive, that will help you reprogram your mind. If you're someone who, struggles with self-doubt, if you're someone who struggles with, conviction within your own capabilities, it's okay, bro. Don't dwell on it more than you need to. It's normal, okay? A lot of our programming, we didn't adopt ourselves. It was projected onto us. So you don't need to overthink it, because that's the best thing about this life, bro. Everything is always moving. Everything is always in motion and nothing is stagnant. So you can always change. We actually are always changing. We're always evolving, right? It's just a matter of in which direction. You know what I'm saying? So you need to put in the time to reprogram your mind so you can adopt a belief system that actually serves you, okay? And you're gonna have to be patient with it, okay? Just think about learning a new language. A child or an infant or toddler learning a second or third language is very simple, right? Very effortless, right? Because you're working with a clean slate. There's not much on there that they're working with, right? Whereas when you're a young adult or an adult, there's already some programming there. So before you incorporate a new software into the system, you have to clear out the old one first. So there's some work that has to be done there, but don't be overwhelmed by it. It just takes a little bit of persistence, determination, consistency. But through that process, you'll develop an immense amount of respect and love for yourself. And you'll learn to actually appreciate the journey. As annoying as it can be at times, you'll start to understand throughout the process of reprogramming yourself that it's more gratifying than you actually could realize in the beginning. just watching yourself step into this identity and for it to become a lot more natural. Like you don't have to remind yourself to think a certain way or to have a certain attitude about things because you've already been practicing this mindset day after day through affirmations, through looking at your vision board, through positive self-talk, through exercise, through a healthy diet, right? Don't feel overwhelmed, man. It's just a matter of doing it one day at a time, getting 1% better every day, okay? Because consistency will always win. It's like what I always say, bro. Like so many dudes I went to school with back in the day, dudes would like go so hard in the gym, work out 7 days a week, and then burn out and then take a month off. It's like, bro, like what's the point of that? You know? This is the long-term game. We're trying to instill, a lifestyle that serves us for the rest of our existence. Like not just for like a month, like, if you got a wedding or a party that you're going to and then you're just trying to look good for it and then it's done, like that's it. No, man, this should be an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing process. It's a lifestyle, right? So grind on yourself, bro. Like, take that inspired action and be consistent, but don't burn yourself out at the same time. You just have to find the balance within yourself because you know yourself better than anyone else. And having the ability to listen to your intuition is a true skill. And it does take a little bit of patience. And that's something that meditation can help with a lot. So I definitely encourage you to meditate as well. It's just really about establishing a new foundation for this life that you desire. Anyone can have it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here right now. I never thought I'd be able to be here until I reprogrammed my belief system. You know what I'm saying? And I've just developed a stronger sense of confidence in my abilities as a creator. So I hope that y'all can find some inspiration in these words and start taking action, right? Don't just listen to these type of videos and try and tell yourself that you're learning. Apply these concepts, apply these principles, and watch the changes within your life, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for y'all, man. I love you guys. Sending you so much positive energy. Catch y'all next video. It's KT.